starting with the definition, a secant-secant theorem is if two secant segments are drawn to a circle from the same external point, the product of the length of one secant segment and its external part is equal to the product of the length of the other secant segment and its external part. Just to summarize what I just said, when it's secant-secant and they start from the same point, the two lines are going to be equal to each other, and also the formula we're going to be using is whole part multiplied by outside part is equal to whole part multiplied by outside part. So now we're starting the first example. What you want to do is take the whole of the top and bottom lines. The wholes for them would be 8 and 2 in this case. You have to add them up to get 10. That's your whole. And then your outside part is going to be 8 on the top line. That's just that. So that's going to be 10 and 8 multiplying by each other. That's the whole outside part. Then on the bottom line, your outside part is 5, but your whole is x, what you're trying to discover. So the whole is going to be x, and the outside part is going to be 5. You're going to simplify it down to 80 equals 5x, divide that by 5, and you get x equals 16. If you want to do a quick check, you can always do the whole multiply the outside part, do the formula again, except substitute all the variables in. So you should get 8 times 10 equals 5 times 16. In both cases, you should get 80 equals 80. Just to do a second example, just to recap on everything we did. Do the whole part equal to whole part again. This time we got it 15 and 3. Add them up to, that way you have 18 multiplied by 3. And then the other side is going to be 6 multiplied by x. Simplify that down to 6x equals 54. Divide by 6. X equals 9 in this case. Again, if you want to do a quick check, substitute the x in the variable place. So 6 times 9 equals 3 times 18. You should get 54 on both sides. Now this third example is a little more complicated. This time the x is actually on the inside part of the circle. So what you want to do again, just as we did before with the top line, 5 plus 3 is 8. So you're going to have 3 times 8 as your first line. Then on the bottom one, your outside part is 4. And your whole is going to be 4 plus x. That's your whole. So you have 4 times 4 plus x in parentheses. When you simplify that down, you're going to get 24 equals 16 plus 4x. Remove 16 from both sides, and then you'll get 8 equals 4x. Divide by 4, you get x equals 2. Now when you want to check this, it's a little different. You're going to still do 3 times 8 as usual, but instead of doing 4 times 2, like we were usually doing, if we were just substitute the x in, you actually have to think of the x going back on the inside, so now you have to do 4 plus 2, which actually gets you 6 as your whole. So it would be 4 times 6 on the other side. Both sides should give you 24.
Fatality.